Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back once again to Cherry and Timber Talk. And we are excited to be back after a very, very small break last weekend. So I hope that you guys are happy to see us back on screen. Hi, Mahesh. Hi, Yogesh. And hello to
Hello.
our champion from Cricket, Vignesh. How are you doing?
Hi guys, I'm fine. How are you guys doing?
Awesome, man.
Good, good.
Awesome. Great to have
Hope
you
you all
on board.
enjoyed the break last week.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Now it's going to be breakneck speed for the next couple of months with IPL. So,
Vignesh,
Yes,
we
good
were
that something is
actually
happening today.
we were actually in a self quarantine, so just like other IPL teams are. So we said, in the spirit of it, why don't we go into a quarantine and maybe self isolate ourselves from all of this cricket and cherry and timber talks and whatnot, and then now we are back
yes,
after that mandatory self isolation.
yes. As they
Good,
say in
good,
cricket, right? You need to take a break away from the game and come back refreshed. That's what we
good.
do. Awesome. Awesome. So, guys, as you would have already seen on our agenda today, we are going to discuss four of the IPL team squads. And we have KKR in Vignesh. We have Kings 11 Punjab in Mahesh, who is looking dapper in that nice, bright red shirt.
I've tried to get the uniform in place, right?
Yeah, we all tried to do it, but yeah, miserably failed. Only Yogesh is Mahesh, and they are the guys who are,
Allah
uh,
bol.
yeah, in their
Allah.
characters.
Yogesh is wearing more of a white than a pink, right?
It
That's
is
optical
pink.
illusion.
Yeah, exactly. It is really pink.
Yeah, baby pink. Yeah,
It is so pink that if I go out, I'll be a bit worried.
yeah. Okay, Yogesh, let's not get there. Hi, Yashasvi, how are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, amazing. So, yeah, guys, so we are going to just discuss the squads in detail first, and how we are going to do this is once we look at the overall squad, we are going to put the selector's hat on, or the coach's hat on, or the captain's hat on, and we are going to select our playing 11 from the given squad. Obviously, there might be changes to the overall squad. We don't have complete information now because some players may be available, may not be available. But from the given names, the best combination possible, that's what we'll look at. Hello, Arjun. Nice to see you. So, guys, let's start off with our guest Vignesh. Let's give him the first honors of starting from the Far East, Kolkata, KKR, Korbol, Orbo, Jeetpure. Start off. Okay, Vignesh. So here's your squad.
So before going in depth about KKR, I'll just clarify one thing. Being a big fan of Mumbai Indians, I have decided not to talk about them, and I chose two other teams which I like to talk about because I feel both those teams are having a good chance of making it to the semi-finals or playoffs, whatever it is.
If
So
I were you, Vignesh, and if I said this sitting in Chennai, then I'm the
hmm.
biggest fan of Mumbai Indians, I'll be a worried man. So,
No, it's been what 10 years now,
yep,
so
yep.
that's fine.
Okay. So you want me to put up your squad now? You want to talk about
Yeah,
it?
that'll be better.
Okay.
That'll be
All right.
better.
All right. Go ahead.
So this season, before the start of the season, KKR had a very good auction in which they got Ian Morgan, they got Chris Green, they got Rahul Tripathi, Tom Banton, Pat Cummins for nearly 15.5 crores. And then one thing which interested me was retaining Kamlesh Nagarpudi. That guy was bought in 2018 after having a very good Under 19 World Cup, but
Hmm.
he was injured for the last two seasons. He didn't play a single professional game, let alone an IPL game. He didn't play a single professional game. And still KKR had faith in him and retained him ahead of the auctions. So they have gotten players who fits in their team perfectly and address their concern. Like for example, last season they had a good leader in the fast bowling department, so they went into the auction. They first went all out for Chris Morris, but they were unable to sign him, and then they decided Pat Cummins is their man, and they went all out and spent nearly 15.5 crores for him.
Hmm.
Coming to the batting department, they needed someone to anchor in the middle order and someone who can support Dinesh Karthik in the captaincy duties. And who's better to do the role than Ian Morgan, who led England to a World Cup victory last season? To
Hmm.
me, KKR is one of the most balanced teams in this IPL. And also there is Chris Green, who is one of the best power play spin bowlers in the world at the moment.
Yep. Agreed. So do you want me to put up your squad now? The 11?
Yeah, that will be better.
All right. So this is Vignesh is playing 11 now from
So this
KKR.
is the
Vignesh, take us through this. Yeah.
So this is the playing down with which I will be going. Submit question
Mm-hmm.
wise, Sunil Narine is batting at number 7 or number 8 and not opening the batting. Yeah,
Mm.
no, it's all due respect to Sunil Narine, who is one of the finest opening batsmen. See,
Yep.
if I'm a captain, I would want my opener to get me off to a very good start, like scoring a 10 ball 25 or a 10 ball 30, which Sunil Narine is completely capable of.
Yep.
But if you see the balance of the team, you don't have a batsman who is capable of batting at number 7, and at the
Yep.
same time, you can't have Rahul Tripathi batting below
So
number
deep.
3.
Yep.
We are
Agreed.
seeing Rahul Tripathi opening the batting for Rising Pune Super Giant, and at the same
Yep.
time batting in the middle order for some other teams. He was very successful at the top of the order, and
Agreed.
even though he can't be compared to Sunil Narine as an opener, he is someone who is very consistent and at the same time very aggressive. An all-Indian opening combination of Rahul Tripathi and Shubman Gill will
Yep.
give you consistency at the top, and it will also allow Rahul Tripathi to go after the bowling from ball one with Shubman Gill playing the second fiddle.
Yep.
And then there is Nitish Rana, who had an outstanding IPL in the last 2 or 3 years. He is
Yes.
one of the best young talents in the country and a left-hander as well. The more
Yep.
left-handers in the middle order, the more it is better for the team. And then
Agreed.
4, 5, 6. To me, this is the most destructive middle order in the whole of IPL.
Oh
Given
yes.
Walker, Dinesh Karthik, and then Andre Russell. So
Yep.
this 4, 5, 6 is not a fixed position.
Yep.
Russell might come in at number 4 or even number 3 depending on the situation. A
Yes.
few days back, we also saw David Hussey, KKR's batting coach, stating that Russell might be promoted up in the batting order. So
Mm-hmm.
it is something which we might have to wait and see. But this is what I'm going in with. Given the playing 11 before the start of the game, if
Yep.
Russell comes in at number 4 and Morgan
Mm.
at number 5, it will give them a more left-right combination to go in
Yep.
with. And all
Yep.
three players are too good against spin bowling, and they are equally destructive against spacers as well. It will be a nightmare for the opposition captain to plan against these three guys.
Yes.
Yes,
Agreed.
Mahesh. Yes, Mahesh.
Vignesh, yeah, my only concern out here is that
Hmm.
Rahul Tripathi and Shubman Gill are relatively
Hmm.
inexperienced. Would you want both of them to go as as an opening pair, or would Sunil Narayan would still be a better option?
See, Shubman Gill, we all know that is the future of Indian cricket. Last season was the first time he was asked to open the batting. He had an outstanding IPL. I don't know. I'm not sure about the exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure he scored more than 300 runs at a very good average and a very good strike rate. So whenever he batted past the power play, he carried on, which didn't show any signs of inexperience. And the same with Rahul Tripathi. When he was opening the batting for Pune, more often than not, he not only got them off to a great start, but he carried on and made
Mm.
it big. These
Vignesh,
two
who
people.
did he open with in Pune? Rahul Tripathi opened in with whom?
So Rahul Tripathi in the 2017 season, he was opening with Ajinkya Rahane, and Ajinkya
Right.
Rahane had one of his worst seasons that year. So it was all
Okay,
Rahul Tripathi that season.
And
and what
Rahul.
about Shubman Gill?
Yeah.
Last season, Shubman Gill was opening with Chris Lynn, I think. Yeah, Chris Lynn.
Yeah, so that is where the thing is. Like, see, they've always opened with experienced opening batsmen, and for the first time, they have a good challenge and a good opportunity, according to
Mm.
me,
Yeah,
for both of them to go
more
and
than challenge,
explore.
I
When
would say
you give it,
opportunity.
Yeah.
correct,
Exactly. Yep. Correct.
good,
Agreed. And I
good
think
choice.
if you ask me, Mahesh, Rahul Tripathi, I feel is better on top because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, he has to bat on
yeah,
top, according to
exactly
me.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
if he's
no way.
11, he has to
He has
bat
to bat
at the
either
top
on
of
yeah,
the
top or
order.
he's not in the
yeah,
team.
because given
Yeah,
KKR's
simple as
middle
that.
order, as Vignesh
No
mentioned,
chance. Nobody can come in there.
I think exactly it's very hard to kind of break that apart and
The thing is, their 4-5-6 is too good against spinners. I'm not at all denying that. But if at
yeah,
all, KKR lose 2 early wickets, and if they need someone to counter attack the opposition spinners, there
yeah.
you go. You have Sunil Narine, who can be promoted as a pinch hitter. And Sunil
Hmm.
Narine against spinners, there is always one winner.
Hmm. True. I mean, it's
Good.
interesting
Very interesting choice.
having watched cricket through the 90s when we used to watch 50 overs cricket and we used to hear the term pinch hitter. And now we are talking about a compact 20-over game, and even in that we are talking about a pinch hitter. So just see how much the game has changed over the years,
Yeah,
right?
true. Very true.
Don't you think
Agreed.
the role of pinch hitter becomes more important in a T20 than an ODI?
Yeah, correct.
And the definition, see, then the pinch hitter was somebody who could give you a strike rate of 130. The pinch hitter here gives you a strike rate of almost 300. So
Yogesh, 130 is something way beyond what I thought. I thought if they played a runner ball, that
100.
was kind of a good
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
strike rate. Yeah. Awesome. Great, Vignesh. So, yeah, go on. Last three
And
names
then
for me.
coming to the bowling attack, last season KKR they didn't have a good pace period. They had
Yep.
Ari Gadhi who was playing in his first season in the IPL, but
Yep.
he was more of a bowler who bowls a lot in the death over, and all the
Yep.
responsibility fell on the young shoulders of Prasid Krishna. Yes, Prasid Krishna
Yep.
is a very good bowler and is one of the players to watch out for among
Yep.
the pacers in the Indian circuit. But
Mm.
leading a pace attack in the IPL was very inexperienced. So
Yep.
KKR, what they did is they realized that they needed someone to lead their pace attack. So they
Yep.
went into the options. They got Pat Cummins, and Pat Cummins, you all know, is one of the finest all three format pacer at the moment. Pat Cummins leading the pace attack with Prasid Krishna, and to me, Kamlesh Nagarkoti will be the third seamer over Shiva Mambi or even
Mm.
say Sandeep Thoria.
Mm-hmm.
Kamlesh Nagarkoti, as I said, I personally have seen him play this second list A match in Chennai. I was here for some random work. I went and watched this match. He took a
Mm.
hat trick in his second international match before the Under 19 World Cup 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, I have watched a lot of matches from the stadium. I
Mm.
can easily see the ball go from the bowler's hand to the batsman. But in
Yep.
case of Navakuti, it's not even a blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
How
He
fast would he be
receives the ball
bowling?
easily 140 clicks,
Mm-hmm.
easily. You'll
Mm-hmm.
release the ball, and the next second you can see the stump going on a
Yep.
cartwheeling
Yep.
near the short handling.
Yep.
And he has an outstanding reverse swing
Yep.
towards 10. I know reverse swing is something which you can't associate with T20 cricket, but his
Yep.
Yorkers will be very crucial for KKR.
Yeah, but
And
I think
spin,
in the UAE it might as well work, right? Because the
Yeah, it
processes
will
are so
swing because of
slow.
the
Yeah,
humidity.
yeah, yeah, exactly. The conditions could be favoring, right? Because the ball might get roughed up with the pitches being slow and low, right? So yeah, so anything quicker through the air is always useful, right? So
yeah. And regarding the spinners, they have Sunil Narine, who was a
mm,
T20 economy of six despite playing nearly 400 games.
yep,
He's a
agreed.
champion, we all know. We all know that.
I
And then
think
assisting him
if
will be
yeah,
Kuldeep Yadav.
if Narayan and Kuldeep Yadav can bowl up to their potential, right? This will be an attack to watch out for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this will be
last
one
year
of the
Kuldeep
best.
Yadav went for a lot of runs.
Correct.
Last year
That's
Kuldeep Yadav went
that's
for
why
a
I
lot
said
of
full
runs. He was
potential.
thrashed by
Yeah,
Virat
correct.
Kohli and Moeen Ali. But the thing is,
Mm,
last season they played on a flat wicket at Eden Gardens.
correct.
This season they will be playing on slowish wickets in UAE. And
Yep.
unlike Eden Gardens, the grounds
Yep.
are a bit bigger.
Yep.
And it will be easy to negotiate, I mean, negate Kuldeep Yadav in those conditions. And if at all KKR want a third spinner
Mm,
and go into two paces, they might make Kamlesh Nagarkoti on the bench and bring in someone like CV Varun,
yep.
who again, like Sunil Narine, is a mystery spinner.
Correct. Correct.
Honestly
Agreed.
speaking, this is one team which I'm very eager to watch out for,
Mm,
and I'll be very disappointed if they don't reach the playoffs. After the playoffs, it's just a lottery. If you have one good day, you will make it to the final, and another good day, you will win. To
mm.
me, playoffs in IPL is as good as anything. So I'm
Agreed.
expecting these people to make it to the playoffs.
Agreed. Well said, Vignesh.
Good
And
one,
yep,
Vignesh. Good one.
interesting comment by Bhash. And this is something which even I wanted to obviously point out. Yeah, I mean, I'm again like you, Vignesh. I know you're a huge fan of Tom Banton.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can only fit four foreigners there. But yeah, if I had a choice, I would definitely play him because
See, as you guys know, I am someone who has been watching for Tom Banton for the last few months on Twitter. He is
yes,
one of the outstanding, is one of the most outstanding prodigies coming
yep,
out in cricket, and in the next year or year and a half, he will be one of the best T20 players.
agreed.
It's very good that KKR got him for just 1 crore. It might be the
Oh yeah,
future.
it's a
You never
steal.
know.
It's a steal
You
for
never
one
know.
crore. Yeah, yeah,
You
agreed.
never know. I
But
was also
Vignesh,
telling him.
next year everybody is going to go into the auction.
No, it's not everybody. I think you can retain X number of players, and you will be having art teams as well. So in the case, Tom Banton for 1 crore could prove to be a huge steal for KKR,
Hmm.
and
Interesting.
is someone who has a lot of talent in him.
Yep.
And with KKR playing a lot of matches
Yep.
in Calcutta,
Yeah.
you never know. He could be a
Yeah.
big success.
Vignesh, we have spies on you now, so watch out. The Tala gang is going to come after you now. Okay, interesting. Great, Vignesh. Thank you for that. So, yep. So next, move on. I think it's me in the line. Yep. So I'm going to talk about Delhi Capitals. Again, this is one of my favorite teams, purely because of the way they've gone about their business in the last 2 or 3 years. Uh, right from appointing Shreyas Iyer as their captain, I think that was a very, very bold as well as
Amazing, yeah.
futuristic move. And I think that's something which not many teams think about in that direction, if you ask me. Mumbai Indians did that with Rohit Sharma early on, and it's paying rich dividends now. So I think I kind of foresee this going the same direction, if you ask me. Great talent, Shreyas Iyer. Captaincy definitely seems to be making him much better, giving him that additional responsibility and maturity. And I think he's pretty much, on that learning curve. And I think the team is kind of selected in that fashion that, there's a lot of youngsters and, a few experienced people rallying around those youngsters. That's how they are kind of thinking. And the squad looks pretty decent. If you see the number of all-rounders in this squad, that's quite interesting. Some might call them bits and pieces, but yeah, I think some of them are genuine all-rounders as well. But yeah, it's quite interesting how they've selected the squad, specifically looking at the Indian contingent of the squad. So many experienced Indian, internationals out there: Shikhar Dhawan, Ajinkya Rahane, Ravichandran Ashwin, Ishant Sharma, Mohit Sharma, Amit Mishra. So all of these guys definitely add a lot of meat to the lineup. So if this was player in an IPL playing in India, this would be an even stronger team because given the conditions, given the know-how, this would be something a team to kind of look out for. Going to these, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Vignesh. You had a question.
And since you're talking about Indian contingent, Delhi
Mhm.
have one team with which you can have a playing 11 consisting of 11 Indian internationals.
Absolutely, right? Yeah, exactly. So we have so many experienced Indian players in the lineup, as well as some young talent as well. So they can definitely go for an all-Indian contingent as well. It's a hard time selecting even the Indian players in the squad, and I'll tell you why. This is my team. So Shikhar Dhawan, obviously a no-brainer. Starting off, I put a star on Prithvi Shaw because I had a very, very hard time leaving out one of my favorite players, Ajinkya Rahane.
Oh,
Because I definitely wanted him in the squad, either in the opening slot or at number three. But there's only so much you can do, right, in terms of choosing the players. So uh, that's my starting lineup. I put a star there because I think that I'll give Prithvi Shaw a go for the first 4 or 5 games because I purely want him to do a role which is something which Ajinkya Rahane may not be able to do. So that's why I put a star here. So I'm giving him a role of I won't say a pinch hitter, but a person who can give me a flying start because I think that's what I need from an opener. If he can even give me a 35 of say 18 or 19 balls or a 20 ball 40, I don't mind that, right? I don't mind even if he gets out because I have a middle order which can take care of the innings, and I have my sheet anchors. I have Dhawan who can play longish innings as an opener because
yeah.
he's done that consistently for India. So I don't want him to focus on building the innings per se. If he does that, really good. It's a bonus. But with Prithvi Shaw, I want him to give me a flying start no matter what. Just give me that start I want. Otherwise, we have Rahane waiting in the wings, right? He can anyways come in and do that job for me. Then number three is interesting. Again, it's a hard choice. I know Vignesh has his eyeballs popped out when he saw Marcus Toyn is there, but then that's something which I call it a floating position in my team for Delhi Capitals. If say Prithvi Shaw gets out, I might be tempted to sending a Marcus Toyn, a replacement for a right-hander. If Shikhar Dhawan gets out, I might be tempted to send Shimran Hetmeyer, as a left-hander. So just to keep that combination going and, to irritate the opposition with keeping a left and right-hand combination, that's what I want to do. The middle order is quite settled. Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant. I think those are the guys who will take me to the finish. I think that's where I'm looking at. Again, Ravichandran Ashwin and Timo Paul, we could change the positions based on the game situation. But I'm definitely considering Ashwin as an all-rounder here, and I want to utilize Ashwin, the batsman, more and more because I feel that he's underutilized as a batsman, and definitely if you provide him more and more opportunities to play, in the middle, I think that will be a better signs for Delhi Capitals, right, going forward, because then the team balance completely shifts and changes. Timo Paul is again a great T20 player, as we have already seen in the CPL. We've seen in the previous leagues as well, previous years as well. My trump card, Kagiso Rabada, that is going to be my, what do you say, X factor in my bowling lineup. And we have already seen what he did last year and the previous season as well with his Yorkers and how he nails those Yorkers in the end and even in the power play overs, right? to get a top opposition batsman out, I have my trump card there already.
Yeah.
So Ishant Sharma and Amit Mishra, two experienced Indian bowlers.
True.
Mishra has been a sort of an IPL, champ,
Legend.
if I could say, over the years. He's always been, amongst the wickets. He's always picked up wickets. A man with three hat tricks, if I'm not wrong, Vignesh. You're the stat.
Yeah, he must be. I mean, he's having three hat tricks, and if I'm not wrong, only Malinga has taken more wickets than Amit Mishra in
Correct,
IPL history.
exactly, right. So he's always there to give me those wickets. And in a T20 game, the only way to stop the batsman scoring is pick up wickets, right? Yes, you can contain runs with a bowler who can bowl a defensive line, but I want wickets to win a game for me, and that's what Amit Mishra provides for me. We also have Sandeep Lamichan in the lineup, but again, he being an overseas player, I can't fit him in given the current lineup that I have. Ishant Sharma definitely adds to the experience bit. I think, I'm selecting him. Obviously, he's not the ideal T20 bowler for me, but over the years, I think the last couple of seasons, he's done pretty well for Delhi Capitals.
Yeah,
And I
especially
think,
in the power play.
especially in the power play. So I think similar to what RCB do with Umesh
Umesh.
Yadav, right? So use him in the power play overs, get him to give me that start in the bowling, give me early wickets or give me two tight overs so that, I can just block the flow of runs in the power play overs. That's pretty much my Delhi squad.
Yeah.
How it looks.
So,
Venu,
Yep.
Rishabh Pant at number 5, as I
Hmm.
see.
Hmm.
Do you think that it's one position low? Because the problem is by the time he comes to bat, they'll be well into 15 or 16 overs.
exactly.
I don't know whether.
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
know whether
good
he'll be able
point.
to set the stage at
Good
5.
point. Yes, he could also again, so that's the beauty of this team. There are two or three players who could be used as floaters. Who could bat anywhere. But I don't want to kind of do that every game because I don't want to unsettle the lineup. I want players to know where they're going to bat. Depending upon game situation, also depending upon conditions, yes, you could definitely get Rishabh Pant higher. But Shreyas Iyer at 4 kind of gives me the solidity.
Yeah,
Because he's
that there's no doubt about that. Correct.
exactly right. So because he's been there, he's done that, and even for India, he plays at number 4.
Yeah.
So what happens if you just reverse?
Mhm.
You put Rishabh Pant at 3 and Stoinis at 5. Does that work
Yeah.
for you?
Honestly, if you ask me, I was also considering opening with Rishabh Pant because that
Yeah.
was also a thought which crossed my mind. He did that successfully in the Under 19 World Cup.
I
if
didn't
you-
want. I didn't want to tell you that. Even
Yeah.
I would have wanted to.
Yeah, but again, I think having Shikhar Dhawan already there, doesn't make sense to have two left-handers as openers. That's what I thought. Uh, 3, yes, definitely. That's something which the team could consider based on situations. If you are, say, chasing a 200 run target,
Yeah.
why not put Rishabh Pant at 3? Right, so give him the freedom to express himself, go and play the way you want, right? So, but again, I think he's done a decent job in finishing games of late as well,
Yeah.
along with Shreyas Iyer. So, I think to groom that finisher and to get him in that role, because if we see the other guys, I'm not too sure about a Shimran Hetmeyer or a Marcus Stoinis being my sole finisher, right? You need a calm head there. Stoinis, if you see in the recent series as well, right? He batted at 3 and he batted well, and whereas when he batted down the order, right? He wasn't really able to take Australia home in those games, and not just in this series, even earlier as well, right? So,
Okay.
and he needs a bit of time to kind of get off the blocks, and he needs some time to kind of build an innings. He's not the ideal, Andre Russell kind of a player who will come in and just slog it out, right, or hit the ball out of the park. So that's the reason why I'm kind of a little concerned about having that, in my finishing role. So yeah, so that's pretty much my team.
That looks good.
So
It looks good.
I have
Your team.
I have a couple of things to ask.
Yes,
So you're
yes.
saying Rahane as an opener along with Shikhar Dhawan. So which one you prefer? Scoring 35 runs for no wickets in the power play, or scoring 45 to 50 runs with the loss of one wicket, or without the loss of one wicket?
So
Because Rahane and Dhawan opening the batting more often than not will give you at a run rate of 6 to 6.5 in the power play. And with someone like Prithvi Shaw at the top of the order can
Yeah.
even get you 8 to 9 inside the first 6 overs.
Okay,
And the
so that-
start
yeah.
very crucial in T20s.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I put Shaw ahead of Rahane, if you ask me, and because I want him to do that role. But if he's not able to do that, if I'm losing early wickets every game, right? So that's something which is a problem. I don't want to expose my middle order too early into the lineup, right? So that's why I want
And,
somebody, yeah.
And one reason why I feel they bought in Rahane was last season, as you said, Prithvi Shaw was getting out in the power play more often than not.
Yes.
Maybe as a backup for, or maybe as a competition for Prithvi Shaw, they got in Rahane.
Yeah,
And
I
one more
think-
thing I wanted to ask is, what do you think about Andrich Nokia instead of Kimo Paul? Because in this level,
Yes.
you have only one good death bowler.
Correct. That's a good thought. Yes, that's another thing which I wanted to consider. But I wanted to go in with a T20 specialist first and see how he goes. Because, and given the fact that he's giving me a good batting option as well, he's not a, he's a decent batsman down the order as well. Maybe he could get you
True.
6 runs. So that's the only reason why I thought from the balance perspective. Yeah. Otherwise, yes, Notte is, I mean, definitely a really good bowler to have. That could be a possible, backup for either Chemo Paul or even Kagiso Rabada if he gets injured, right? So he's an automatic choice coming into the team. That's how I see him. Ritesh says, or Lamichane in place of Chemo Paul.
Yeah.
That's a good choice, but again, it depends upon the conditions. If the wicket is slow and low or turning, definitely yes. That's something which we could consider.
And you also already have Amit Mishra, Aleki in
Exactly
the
right.
11.
So
I don't know
I didn't
whether
want two leggies
you
in the same team. Yeah, correct. Agreed. And there is also Akshar Patel. He is also a decent
are.
bowler. But yeah, but I wanted Mishra ahead of Patel because obviously Mishra is slower through the air, gives you turn, gives you wickets. I want wickets instead of just stopping the flow of runs as well. All right. So that was my team. Let's go to the Pink City. Yogesh, all on.
Goa, the Halla Bowl team, right?
Yep. Yep.
Now, such an interesting sport this is, and I think historically Rajasthan has been known to kind of have that balance of young Turks who could spring a surprise or two, led by extremely experienced players who are able to inspire the rest and sort of bring out the best in them. Who would have thought people like Swapnil Asnodkar would become a household name? But
Yep.
hey ho, that's the magic of Rajasthan Royals. And now we also know that Rajasthan Royals went through a history of kind of tribulations, so to speak. So it was hard for them to kind of have a core that they could build around with. And so that's why we see in the latest auction, they traded quite a few players and they bought as many as 11 ones. So now, when you look at the entire side, you'll see a rich mixture of some really, really experienced names, some really good cricketers, and also, players which are sort of youthful exuberance, so to speak. But overall, I think, Rajasthan Royals now have got a great base that they've covered in
Yep.
terms of the balance they needed in the batting, the balance they needed in the bowling, and kind of getting that crucial, very crucial all-rounders spot in there. And if you look at the squad, these are some of the names any team would love to have, especially the foreign players. When you're led by somebody like Steve Smith, and then he's in company of Josh Butler, David Miller, etc.
Yep.
You know that these are really, really good, powerful foreign batsmen to have. So one of the challenges I would see is which of the foreign players do you really leave out,
Yep.
knowing that you can only play a handful of one. So it's a great challenge to have. But what they also have now
Yep.
is the domestic players that they can kind of bring into the side and still not let that balance go astray a lot. So this year I'm actually expecting great things from this team.
Hmm.
For one reason or other, it seems like a team that is now fully capable of punching above their weight,
Yep.
not in an unexpected way. I
Yep.
expect them to actually do well. So
Correct.
here's the starting lineup then, something that is a bit of a dream, obviously. And you see names like Josh Butler, Ben Stokes, Steve Smith, Jofra Archer there, Now, one team that has really benefited from the recent Australia and England series is probably Rajasthan Royals, because
Yep.
that cricket was not played. Who would have known what would have happened with Josh Butler? Because we know
Yeah.
he was going through a bit of a form slump, so to speak, and his spot was debatable and all of that. And all of a sudden, where are we?
Hmm.
Everybody's talking about Josh Butler as the numero uno white ball player in cricket. Well, we'll leave
Yep.
that whether he is or Virat Kohli is or somebody else, but we
Yep.
all know how powerful he could be right up. And the good thing with Josh is while he can play that absolutely power packed game, he can
Hmm.
also kind of bat all through. And the 95 recently he played was
Hmm.
actually a great showcase of his ability to bat through the innings and bat in different gears when it is needed. Now, with
Hmm.
him, I've asked Robin Uthappa to come in and open. Obviously, in the first match, I wanted to go along with experience. I also wanted to give the team the best possible start. There
Yep.
are many different players that could actually come in and partner with Josh Butler, for instance. You could have somebody like Manan Vora walk in, or you could experiment with some other talent. But knowing Robin Uthappa's pedigree, knowing the hunger he has, knowing
Yes.
the work he's done, I wanted that bit of experience up top, because imagine you have Josh Butler, Robin Uthappa, Steve Smith. who kind of got down and started scoring. They're
Yep.
now putting the opposition team under much pressure. I
Yep.
don't think I need to talk a lot about Steve Smith and why he's
Yeah.
at number three and what are his credentials and why and things. But I just feel, one batsman who can combine creativity with consistency is
Mm.
Steve Smith, because bring in pace, you bring in spin, you can trust Steve Smith to kind of adjust and actually play according to the
Mm.
circumstances, according to the opposition, etc. You can't really ask for a better number three in the given circumstances, barring Kohli perhaps.
Mm.
So going on then, I got Sanju Samson coming in at number four. Obviously, Sanju Samson has done really well for the team over the years, so it's no surprise he finds a leading spot there. Yes,
So why Sanju Samson as keeper and not the Josh Butler? I'm just trying
there
to
are
figure
three
that.
people who can keep in this squad.
Yeah, that's what I was. But
They
I'm just
can.
thinking,
The
are
three
you not?
keepers can probably decide who keeps in Sharjah, who keeps in Dubai, and who keeps somewhere else. Um, so I mean, I can.
No,
He,
the reason why I asked this because Samson is an excellent outfielder. That's the reason I
Yeah.
asked. Because he's
yeah,
amazing with the outfield. So, I mean, if I were you, I would have probably had Josh Butler keep wickets and get.
I think last time around also Butler kept wickets, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the last two seasons,
yeah,
Butler kept the wicket and Sanju was fielding the team
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
with
yeah.
some blinders as well.
yep,
So
I
this
mean,
time we'll experiment.
it's
No problem.
probably one team that has luxury of too many wicket keepers in that
yes.
sense. Robin Uthappa can keep for all his life,
Oh,
and
oh
then
yes.
so can Josh Butler. But perhaps I think today
Yeah,
it seems that Josh Butler keeping might be a good idea.
yeah.
Now, this point,
Mm.
2 months ago, not many people would have agreed, looking at what Josh Butler was going through. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think he's back at his best. He's feeling confident, so why not? I think Josh Butler can take the gloves as well. But
yep,
looking at number four, I think I think the linchpin of the attack, and we all know on
yeah,
his day, Sanju Samson can be destructive and
yes,
as destructive as anybody else in the game.
yes,
Fabulous. And then coming at number five is Ben Stokes, hoping Ben Stokes can still play. And if he can, I think it's almost a dream to have that kind of a lineup, coming in and taking those five spots. Rian Parag makes up the next all rounder, followed by the people who are more bowlers and things like that. I've brought in Rahul Tewatia here, knowing that he can spin the ball, but he's also a left-hander and can give it a
mm,
nice block. So hopefully somebody who can get some quick runs down the order. And then you got Shreyas Gopal spinning a web. Now, if at all there is a link, a weak link in this side, I still feel bowling apart from Jofra Archer, could there be a leeway for the opposition to find? And we'll know how that goes on as the tournament progresses.
mm,
Whether this attack will be able to come together, gel well, and actually play around Jofra Archer and kind of lift yourself to that standard. We will know. But yeah, I mean Jaydev Unadkat I brought in because he's a left-hander. He's had a nice Ranji season. He's feeling
yep,
really good about his game, and this could be the season wherein Jaydev Unadkat actually finds himself. And well, I think a lot of people believe in him.
yep,
His IPL performances have been slightly up and down, tendency to go for runs, etc. But
yep,
knowing his experience now, hoping that he'll have a great IPL. So that's the starting squad. There's obviously a lot of capacity in that team, even when you bring in other players and things. Yes, Vignesh.
So,
So
okay, go ahead,
you
Vignesh.
did mention Ankit Rathod as your second seamer of the third seamer. Yes, Ankit Rathod, he has been good in the IPL over the past, but this season they also have a certain Karthik Tyagi, who
Mm,
Yeah,
was outstanding with the new ball in the Under 19 World Cup, bowling
mm,
at a good speed on a
yep,
consistent basis,
yep,
and he does something which I haven't seen with most of the Indian bowlers. Bowling Yorker with the new ball. Very first ball of the innings, he will run in and bowl a Yorker at
yep,
145. And
yep,
is someone who is capable of swinging the ball both ways. Since you brought up the point about Rajasthan, I mean Rajasthan not having a good pace attack and revolving only around Jofra Archer, don't you think Karthik Tyagi will be of good use?
yeah.
yep,
So Tyagi, and then like I was saying, I mean, it's the bowling that is where they might have a weak link or two. If if they start going for runs. I mean, another option I was thinking of was going with Varun Arun with all his experience and things like that. But
yep,
we're still not sure of the thing is, it's one thing to bowl well and it's bowl well in sort of low pressure contests and things like that. It's when you got people of high pedigree, that you're bowling to, and
yep,
under that pressure, can you withstand your line length and can you get the ball to kind of land where you want to?
yep,
So I feel overall, I think from a batting perspective, Rajasthan Royals have got their house sorted now. If
Yep.
their bowling can now stand up to the heat, I think they would be a good squad to sort of contest with, and they might spring more than a surprise as such.
Hopefully.
Our friend Yashasvi says Yashasvi will have the time of his life.
Well, for sure. I think, I mean, initially you'd see because IPL is a long tournament, and then as you said, Kartik Tyagi, Varun Arun, all of
Yeah,
these people are going to
yeah.
get an appearance at some point.
Correct,
Yashasvi might
correct.
come in,
Yes.
and what it takes is less than it's two failures, and a player
Yeah,
might actually then struggle
yeah,
to come back into the squad again.
yeah,
So, like I was saying,
Correct.
I
yeah,
hope Uthappa goes well, but if
yeah,
not, then Royals have two or three backups, four backups in that
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
So it's a squad that looks really well balanced now. It's
yeah,
when the tournament starts, it's when the heat rises, is when
yeah,
we will know whether they can actually stand their good stead.
yeah. Just a correction there. There was a typo. Lockie Ferguson is not in Rajasthan Royals. That was a kind of a typo. We missed that out. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So thanks, Yogesh. That was quite interesting. I think all three squads are looking really good on paper till now. So let's
They all
go.
look good before the tournament begins, right?
Yeah. Let's go with the Punjabi in the house, Mahesh.
So let me start with the trivia.
Yep.
Okay, because that will bring a smile on the face of every Kings 11 fan.
Yes.
You know what happened in 2008? The Kings 11 reached the semi-finals. 6 years
Yeah.
later,
Oh no.
2014, they reached the
Yeah.
finals.
Yes.
Another 6 years later, they could well reach the finals and go all the way through, right?
Please
So
don't
they were
talk
just
about
to
the
give them a little bit
2014
of
season.
happiness.
Please don't bring in
But
the
having said this,
2014 season. Mumbai Indians didn't win a single match in UAE.
okay, having said this, even an ardent Kings 11 fan
Hmm.
would agree that they've had more lows than highs.
yeah,
Yes.
This, despite having some terrific players. I mean, look at the players that they've had. They've been very good over the years.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they've not been able to establish a culture or
Yep.
identity
Yep.
because the turnover of players have been that high.
Correct.
yeah,
And that has not helped Kings 11 to have a
Yes.
stable team. And we
Yep.
all know, right? If you don't have a stable team, it's very difficult to perform. There is no
Yes.
gelling and nothing of that sort.
Yep. There's no
Once
core per
again,
se. Yep.
correct.
Yep.
Once again, Punjab has a new captain and a new
Yep.
coach.
Yeah. I'll put up the
However,
screen.
the
You want me
yeah,
to put up the graphic on the
yeah, you can
screen?
put it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
However, the good thing is that both are
Yep.
from Bangalore.
Yep.
Anil Kumble, with his vast international experience, will be
Yep.
a big, big asset to this team, according to me.
Yep.
Because he's a good student of the game, and more than that, he's got a wonderful strategic mind.
Correct.
And look at all the players who've played with him or who've seen him as they grow. The
Yep.
Indian players and the international players, they will give him a lot of respect. They all look up to him, right?
Yes.
So he will be the person who will be planning for the Kings 11, the strategy and all that thing. That will take away a little bit of responsibility from KL Rahul, according to me. Because KL Rahul has
Yep.
got a lot of responsibilities. He's going to go open the innings, he's going to captain, and then he has to keep wickets. So he's going to work overtime. So I
Well,
believe that,
you can say that Mahesh has done that already for India this year.
yeah. But to do that for 45 days, I think it's going to be a big
Agree.
ask.
Agree. Absolutely right. Yep.
So
Cool.
we've spoken about Rahul. Now let's look at the batting. Okay, the
Yes.
whole responsibility will be in the middle order, but the fun or the curiosity will be on Christopher Henry Gale. Remember, he's 40, right? And he's
Yes.
not getting any young.
yeah,
I believe the management should be very fair. They
Yep.
should give him a run, okay?
Yep.
And in case he doesn't fire like the way we expect him to fire,
Yep.
they should not hesitate to drop him. Because
Yep.
we all know you don't win a tournament on reputation. You win a
Correct.
tournament only on performance and form, right?
yeah,
Yep.
So they need to be, yeah, they need to take tough decisions. And I think somebody like Anil Kumble has the ability to take tough decisions. So
Hmm.
that's why I said Anil Kumble will be a big asset for Kings 11 Punjab. He might be able to resurrect this franchise.
Hmm.
Now let's look at the batting, the middle order. Okay, it's got Mayank Agarwal, Glenn Maxwell, Mandeep Singh, Deepak Huda, Sarfraz Khan, Nicholas Puran. So they've got a good set of middle order batsmen. who, according to me, can actually go hammer and tongs and actually can take the game away from the opponent. They've
Correct.
got good firepower.
Yep.
Now, here again, I would like to put a small trivia. Punjab played extremely well in 2014 and lost only in the finals. The first 20 matches were played in the UAE. And I think Punjab won all their 5 matches in the UAE. So they have a very special bonding with the UAE.
Yes.
Okay. So probably this could help them as they go forward, right?
Yes. Agreed.
Now let's look at the bowling. Definitely Mohammad Shami will be leading the pack.
Yes.
No doubt about that. Okay. Between Jordan and Cottrell, they've got another bowler who can support Mohammad Shami.
Yes.
Okay. Spinners will play a big role in UAE. And Mujib and Gautam will definitely be their spinners, at least to begin with. Ravi Bishnoi and Ishan Porel are very exciting prospects, according to me. Ravi Bishnoi had a terrific World Cup, the under-19 World Cup. And with Kumble being the coach, Bishnoi stands to gain a great deal.
Correct.
But the one bowler I'm really looking forward is Darshan Nalkande. He had a terrific Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament, for Vidarbha. He picked up a fifer against Uttar Pradesh. Though he did not play a single match last year, and Vignesh told me earlier when we were off the show that he did not play the year previous to that as well. However, he's been retained. That means Kumble must have found something exciting with him and might play him in this season.
Yes.
Look at the foreign players that they have. They've got Gale, Pooran, and Maxwell as the 3 batsmen, the international player batsmen. And when it comes to bowling, they've got Mujib as the only spinner, that is an international spinner, international team spinner. And then they've got Cottrell, Viljoen, who else? Jordan.
Yep. Correct.
So I think Nisham is not there. I think Nisham is also there in that.
Yeah, he's there in the
squad.
Yeah.
So he's also there. So they've got backups. If somebody doesn't perform, they've got somebody to fall back on.
Correct.
And if you talk about the X factor, to me it has to be Maxwell. No doubt about that. Okay. Maxwell and Punjab have had a beautiful relationship. In 2014, there are few Desert Storm innings that he played.
Yep.
Moreover, coach Anil Kumble was the one who introduced him to Mumbai Indians. He's a great admirer of Maxwell.
That's a great point. Yep.
And I think Maxwell is in a state of his career where he needs somebody like Anil Kumble to channel his energy, channel his talent, channel his skill to go out and perform. And I think that's going to be the primary job of Anil Kumble in this season.
Yes.
It could well be Maxwell's IPL, according to me.
Yep.
Now, if I have to conclude the whole thing, I would look at it by saying that the batting looks good. Okay. But my only worry is that is it a little short of experience in the middle order?
Agreed. Agreed.
Look at the bowling. They've got good bowlers. They've got Shami, they've got Mujib. They're all good bowlers. However, they're not menacing. Okay? But if they have to perform and punch way above their weight, they all need to play together as a team. They work as a team. I think they'll do very well.
Agreed.
Now let's look at the squad.
Playing 11. Yep.
So I don't think anybody would dispute that Gale and Rahul should be the opening partners. And I read somewhere that they're probably the best opening pair in the IPL.
But I would like to
discuss about that, because there'll be a lot of other teams who will say no way. Okay, you look at somebody like Rohit Sharma and Chris Lane or Rohit Sharma and Peacock. But anyway, whatever it is, Gale gets you that entertaining value. And if he's in good form, depending on his fitness and form, I don't know how many matches he'll play. But if he plays at least about 7 or 8 matches, I'm sure he'll ensure that 2 or 3 matches he'll take it away.
Yes.
So that's a good. Mayank Agarwal at number 3, very good option, because he's got the international experience as well. He's solid. Maxwell, again, this guy's form is very, very critical for Kings 11 Punjab to whether they go right through to the playoff. And like what Vignesh said, once you reach the playoff, then it's just like lottery. You play good on that day, you move into the finals, and then it can be anybody's game, right? Okay, now I had a choice between Karun Nair, Sarfraz Khan, Mandeep Singh, and Deepak Hooda for the 2 batting spots. Okay, I took Mandeep Singh because I think he's a better finisher. Okay, he's got a little more experience. He's played well over the years. So that's the only reason that I went with Mandeep Singh. They were very tempted to bring in Sarfraz Khan. But then I said, okay, we will go with this squad, and if it doesn't work, we can
Yeah.
always get Sarfraz Khan back. Deepak Huda gives you a little bit of big hitting and a little bit of spin option, so that's the reason why I went with Deepak Huda. They've just bought him, so they might want to play him.
Yep.
Krishnappa Gautam is definitely a spinner that I
He
think
did well last year for.
he did very well.
Yeah, correct.
So I'm sure Kumble will definitely have him in his mind to play him in as many matches as possible.
Agreed. Yep. He's a good all-rounder option as well, right?
So you've got
very handy with the bat.
Yeah.
Very handy with the bat as well.
Yep.
So now between Neesham, Viljoen, Jordan, and Cottrell, I had to pick up one pace bowler. Okay, and I think Chris Jordan will start off. If it doesn't work, we could always go back to either Neesham. Neesham, however, gives you a little bit of extra with the
batting
bat
option,
compared to Jordan. But I think with this, I still believe in a 20-over match, you just need 6 good batsmen. If the 6 batsmen can't do your work, your 7th will also not do it for you.
Yeah.
So Chris Jordan, I think, should be able to manage that. So that's it. Okay, now that is a surprise for many people. They would want Ishan Porel to have played, but I think we need 3 pace bowlers because we're playing in the desert. Because we've got a lot of spinners. We've got Deepak Huda, we've got Maxwell, so we've got a bunch of spinners there. So needed a pace bowler. So between Ishan Porel and Nalkande, I would go with Nalkande because I like what I saw. Okay. Though Ishan Porel, he comes from Calcutta. He's a very promising young guy. So is Nalkande. He's also young. He comes from Vidarbha. But I think I would start with Nalkande. If it doesn't work, I can always get Ishan Porel back. Mohammad Shami, it's a no-brainer. He's going to lead the pack.
Yep.
And Mujib has always been one of the best opening bowlers in the IPL. And he had a particularly damn good series in the Caribbean Premier League. So I think 2 reasons why I would take Mujib. I think he's a very good bowler. So that's my 11.
So Mahesh, couple of observations here. Okay, again, one is I know it's difficult to fit in Nicholas Puran because obviously you can only fit in 4 foreigners. But I'm just trying to think that this middle order is all, in fact, after Chris Gayle, it's all right-handers in there. I'm just trying to see who's my left-hander in the middle order, right? Because it's all getting a little one-dimensional. But I know your limitations because of 4 foreigners. But I'll be very tempted, if I were you, to pick up Nicholas Puran at some stage because of the fact that, I feel he's even much more better than Shimron Hetmeyer in the West Indies squad because I think he's an excellent striker of the ball.
No doubt, Venu.
Wicket-keeping option as well.
I completely understand your point of view. So that's why I said I'll start off with Gayle, give him 4 matches. If Gayle doesn't perform, he's out.
Correct.
Because there is, like what I keep telling people, that there is reputation never wins you a tournament, right?
Yep.
There's no way the reputation can win you a tournament. So if Gayle doesn't perform, because Gayle is anyway a liability on the field. Okay, he's not the fastest on the field. Basically, he doesn't run. So if he doesn't bat, he doesn't hit the big 6s in the 4th, he makes way for Nicholas Puran. Because Nicholas Puran then can bat at number 3. Mayank Agarwal can bat in as an opener with KL Rahul, and then things start looking very different.
Exactly, right? Okay. That's what I was about to say.
That's the whole thing. But I need to give Chris Gayle a run.
I mean, too big a player to miss out initially.
Correct.
Yeah, agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't know. From which side will Gayle get up in the morning and come, and he suddenly starts, illuminating the desert. Then, see, once he starts batting well, then you don't need. After number 5, there's no batsman required because he'll bat for 10 overs. He would have taken the game away so far away from the opponents that it's all over for them. So the thing is that's the reason why I had to sacrifice Nicholas Puran. I was very tempted to use him. I need a spinner in Mujib. There's no doubt about that. Maxwell has to play.
Correct.
Maxwell has to play. We need one pace bowler because Shami alone won't be able to do things. So we have to
Jordan is a T20 expert. Yeah, agree.
Yeah, so Jordan I thought was the best that I could start off with. If it doesn't perform, I can always get in Jimmy Neesham. So based on that, this 11 has been fitted.
Yeah, I think
maybe 3
Neesham is
matches down the
also.
line, we will have to relook at the whole thing.
Neesham is also unlucky to miss out because he's also a quality cricketer. Sheldon Cottrell as well.
Cottrell,
So you've got good choices. You've got good choices as backups.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the pace has been very well taken care of. I think Kumble has done a fantastic job. That's what I told you earlier also. He's done a good job of picking up people.
So I just wanted to make this point. Can you just show me the squad? Squad, not the playing 11. Can you just show me the squad? The moment I saw the squad, the first thing that came to my mind is whether is this Kingsland Punjab or Karnataka?
Karnataka.
Kingsland Karnataka.
Yeah. Along with
Was
the
it
coach, there
Kingsland
are a
Punjab or
lot of people
Kingsland
from Bangalore.
Karnataka? Because
Yeah.
if you see, there are 5 people who are from Karnataka, and then there are 6 people who were a part of RCB in the previous seasons. It's just a mixture of players from RCB, players from Karnataka, and then rest of the world.
So this is RCB Alumni Union going on in Kings 11.
Yeah. Captain, coach, all from Karnataka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, one more trivia is that when Mumbai Indians roped in Anil Kumble as their mentor or coach for the 2013 season, that
Yep.
was the first time. I mean, in that season, they had a relatively new captain in Rohit Sharma, and that was the first season in which they went on to win the trophy. The same
Yep.
happened with KXIP as well.
Yep. Correct. Agreed. Yep. That's what. So, I mean, I think it's an interesting team. Like I said, Rahul, like Mahesh already mentioned, right? He's a man with multiple hats. He could do different
And
roles.
so far, even though we missed nearly 6 or 7 months of cricket, 2020
Yeah.
has been the year of KL
Or
Rahul.
Rahul, exactly,
Done
right?
everything.
He's played brilliantly.
Yep. Exactly.
Done everything we could. He captained the
I don't
Indian
know.
team,
One
wicketkeeper,
of the international
batting.
bowlers went on record and said that he's the most destructive
T20.
T20 batsman.
Agreed.
And that too, playing proper cricketing shots. No slogs,
Yeah.
no nothing, right?
It doesn't. No slogging, no unconventional shots.
Yeah.
But very, very, very clean hitting.
Only thing he missed
I'll
out.
tell you one thing. So whenever KL, see, I'm a big fan of Rohit Sharma. You know how good Rohit Sharma is with the bat. You can watch him play. But when I'm watching KL Rahul, it will be very difficult for me to concentrate on some other work. You just can't take your eyes off him batting. So good to watch.
Very pleasant to the eye. Very much like Rohit Sharma.
Very good
right?
on here. Yeah, exactly.
Very, very pleasant to the eye.
Yes. Only thing he missed out doing in 2020 was flying that plane back to New Zealand from India. So that was that joke going around, right? KL Rahul, wicketkeeper, middle order, captain,
and he was also a doctor in one of the T20 matches, and he said Virat Kohli will be fit for the next match.
Yeah, correct. Awesome, guys. So thanks a lot, guys, for your inputs, and thank you, audience, for joining in today. Great comments there, Yashasvi.
So when are we meeting next for the remaining four
Yeah,
teams?
so we will do a midweek show next week because obviously we do understand everybody wants to watch the IPL on Saturday and Sunday, so we will not disturb you on those days. So we are wary of that. Yeah, I know you want to watch the action instead of us talking. So we'll do a midweek show, and we will discuss the remaining 4 teams: CSK, Mumbai Indians, Vignesh's favorite team, RCB.
But I'm not doing Mumbai Indians.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I know you don't want to jinx them. That's fine.
It's not about mixing. As I said, I have 2 teams. I have 2 teams to talk about who I feel have the most balanced squads and who will go to the playoffs. That is the reason.
Yep. RCB and Sunrisers Hyderabad. Yep. So, audience, if you have any specific comments on those, if you have some interesting pointers, do write to us. Do put it on our social media handles, and we will discuss that in our next segment as well. So, once again, thank you for joining in.
Venu, why don't you ask the audience? Because I think on Saturdays and Sundays, during the IPL, there are 2 matches, right? After October 1st.
Yep.
Which means that when we do a show on Saturday, we might not get that. I mean, people are going to get disturbed.
Correct.
So should we do it on a Friday at 6:30?
Fair enough. Yeah, I think we should do it on a Friday, if you ask me.
So let's ask our audience, because they are the people for whom we are doing this show, right?
Yes, agreed. Yes, I think Friday sounds good to me. We could do it on a Tuesday and a Friday or something like that, just to balance it out and talk about more and more games. Yep. So I'm excited about this IPL. After a long time, we're having a long stretch of
some good, exciting cricket.
Yes. Thank you, guys. So look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, and we'll make an announcement. And we'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.